Psychological safety is feeling accepted, respected, supported, expected, and able to disclose a risk, a mistake, a different point of view. It's different from trust. It gets sometimes conflated also with comfort. Trust is so important in our workplaces, but psychological safety is really something we experience interpersonally. It's something we experience as a group. In essence, psychological safety is permission for candor in our workplaces.
Psychological safety is often confused with a lack of accountability, when actually psychological safety calls for a high level of accountability within teams. Amy Edmondson talks about this in terms of different zones, so different zones of performance and how they connect to psychological safety. So she speaks about the anxiety zone, the apathy zone. Those would be two zones where we have a lower level of psychological safety. She also talks about the comfort zone and the learner zone. In the comfort zone, we're often working well as a team together, but we're not challenged, so accountability isn't present in the same way. Whereas in the learner zone, we're both working effectively, collaboratively as a team, and demonstrating a high level of accountability as a team, hence a higher level of psychological safety, which, as we know, has an impact on outcomes. Building psychological safety in a team or an organization is a process. It's a journey, and Timothy Clark really speaks to that in relation to the different stages of psychological safety that we move through. The first step to building psychological safety is what Timothy Clark refers to as the inclusion zone. It's this idea that to even be able to enter into those conversations, we need to feel included, we need to feel as though we belong within that team and within that setting. So we need to feel a sense of inclusion on a team before we can move forward to being in the learner zone, the next step on that journey to psychological safety. And the learner zone, we're asking questions, we're being curious, we're able to admit mistakes when we recognize them or express a safety concern without fear of retaliation or judgment. In the inclusion zone and the learner zone, we're really focusing on our own role as part of the team and building psychological safety for ourselves as a part of that team and that group. Our next step in building psychological safety is contributor safety. And the learner zone, we're challenging ourselves. And in the contributor zone, we start to play a more active role in challenging our thinking as a team and contributing to those conversations more openly. And the last step in the journey to psychological safety is the challenger zone. And this is really when we feel able to step into challenging the status quo, to be asking questions perhaps about areas that feel more challenging, to be questioning practice that's maybe been established for some time, to have the opportunity to think again about how we're showing up and coming forward in the work as a team and as a team of individuals. And what we know about system transformation and innovation is it really starts between the challenger zone and the contributor zone. That's where we really start to see teams innovate by having this foundation of psychological safety.